Whoa. Has it been a while since I've done this? Hey, what's good? How's everyone going? I feel like it's been like 3 weeks since I've done this. And that's...
Pussyo, my little pickle,
is way too long.
Kombucha.
The separation anxiety is strong.
Nuts. Have a nice day.
What's good, everyone? It has been a very, very long time.
XQC, PVC, DVD, HTC, STD, LSD, ABC, 123, PSP, KFC, BBC, SSD.
Okay, that still works. Thank God that button still works. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Good to see you all. I've missed you very, very much. I'm tired. I am exhausted because our flight flew in. Our flight landed at like 4 a.m. or 3:30 a.m. Basically, by the time we got out of the airport, it was like 4 a.m. And I've just flown back in from Perth yesterday, from Perth Regionals. So catching up, and I really wanted to do this after OCIC, but did not have the time because it's been a whirlwind. It's been a whirlwind since OCIC, which was 2 weeks ago. But I'm back now, and I can kind of take a bit of a breather, which feels really nice. How are you all doing? Good to see you all. A couple of resubbers there. Thank you very much for kicking off that hype train. I forgot how this thing works. ZD Tan. Oh, there's a whole bunch of you guys. Harry West, that was yesterday. Thank you, Harry West. Jake, good to see you again, man. How you been? ZD Tan, thank you for 16 months. That's a long ass time. ZD Tan, thank you for 13 in 10 bucks. Thank you for 13. Thank you for the cocker. Fonzie Prime, thank you so much. That's been a long time, Fonzie. I'm so sorry. I feel really bad. Zanga fan, thank you so much for the resub. Nakuda, you're legend. FX Sport, I missed you too. Trust me, it's been really weird. How y'all doing? What's good? Who's here? Ricky Am, what's good, dude? How you been? Poker Commons, what's happening, man? Only X Live, thanks for tuning in. Amber, how you been, Amber? How was your trip? You had a good time? I'm sure you did. Nakuda, thank you for 24 months. Holy, I missed that. Dude, thank you for 24 months. That's insane. You're a boss. 2 years. And we're going to finally meet up in EUIC, aren't we? Because I'm making that trip up to London in about 6 weeks' time, which was in the cards and I was thinking about doing, but was like apprehensive about. But since the weekend, I've fully committed to just doing it. So... yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about why and what's been happening in the world of JLUV outside of streaming, because I know it's been a while since I've done anything. I haven't done shit for months. There's actually been a lot of things. Sorry, I'm just posting up something. There have been a lot of things that has happened. There have been a lot of things that have happened.
Jojo Biscuit.
And we just have not spoken about at all. Ever since the interview with PokeRev, I feel like I've just disappeared. Mr. Darcy, about time you're waiting for you to stream all morning. Dude, it's been a very slow morning for me. Very slow morning. I got up at like 9 a.m. So I got like 4 hours sleep. I can't complain. I know you had a longer trip. I flew back with Mr. Darcy and he drove 2.5 hours from the airport back home. So he had a real stinker of a trip. How old were you when you found out that Britain is actually a real place? I am Australian, so that's been ingrained in our culture since we were born.
Pussyo, my little pickle, Kombucha.
So I've known that my whole life.
These nuts. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Blendy, thank you for 25 months of Prime. We're getting to that point. Shit. Did I miss the... No, how long have I been streaming? 2 years or I've been streaming for 2+ years. Okay, so we're getting closer to the 3-year stream anniversary. I probably should take note of that because I don't ever do anniversary streams. It's been a long time. About 2.5 this month. Fuck, I really got to keep track of the time. Blendy, thank you for 25 months, you absolute
Pussyo,
legend.
my little
oh
pickle,
no, not this
Kombucha.
guy. Fuck.
These nuts.
This guy's on my list of people that I'm in trouble with. I'm on his list of, I'm in his shit books. Sorry, man. And Star, hang on, dude. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for 20 months. I know. Look, I've been MIA. There's been a lot of, have you seen me? I mean, have you seen me even do anything Pokemon related on stream? Pokemon cards? I've completely skipped Scarlet Violet. It's ridiculous. I'm flying out to Japan in 3 hours. Or at least you got something to help you keep the time. Gonna need you to give me the fakest. Thank you for subbing, Noms, since your scuffed stream sold my alert. Thank you, Noms, for however many months. Actually, I'll scroll down. How long, Noms? Thank you, Uncle Noms, for...
Pussyo, my little
22
pickle,
months.
Kombucha.
Not very important.
These nuts. Have a nice day.
Noms, thank you for 22 months. I did see I did see your message, and we're gonna do something about it. That's getting out of hand. I know that's gotten out of hand. There's a lot. We're gonna do a big chat, but today we're chatting. This is essentially a chatting stream. I know Noms has been holding down the server. I'm surprised that the server even exists. I didn't even tweet live. I didn't even tweet I'm now live in the server. That's how scuffed I am. I'm back. Easy. Live now. Fuck. Wait, I put it in EV Heroes. Whoops. Damn it, I put it in the wrong channel. Fuck. Okay, the 2 pings coming in the Discord. There's another one. 2 pings in the Discord. Bang, bang.
Are you going to finally play Scarlet and Violet?
I am.
okJLUV?
I am going to. I'm definitely going to. That is part of what I'm really excited about the next month, is that I'm going to finally be able to sit down and play that. And not feel like I am doing myself dirty by not practicing playing Pokemon enough. So that's what's good.
Pussyo, my little pickle, Kombucha. These nuts. Have a nice day.
Did I really need to? Yes, I did. It's because I was looking in that channel before I went live. I was doing a catch up. Boxkiss, thank you for 3 months. Boxkiss, what's good? Thank you so much for your support. Gengar, man, what's good? I've been here a long time. Don't worry, I haven't been here in a long time either. I'm doing well, man. I do. I miss the catch-ups. I'm back, though. I'm actually back. I'm going to pick Scarlet.
Scarlet or Violet?
I'm definitely picking Scarlet. I'm definitely picking Scarlet.
Pussyo, my little pickle, Kombucha.
Peter,
These
what's good, man?
nuts. Have a nice day.
Peter, it's been a long time, hasn't it? 20 months. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your support. Support's the new word that replaces the A word. Imagine being able to afford cardboard in the year of our Lord 2023. Yeah, so that's kind of why I wanted to go live, because, well, anyway, look, let's get into it. Everybody, hello, thanks for coming down, and I'm sorry I haven't been live for a long time, but I have been playing a lot of Pokemon cards, like a bucket load of Pokemon cards, I guess since January of this year, since the start of the year, essentially. So I've been committing most of my time to just becoming a better player, because the game is really difficult, and there's a big wall to climb. So for that reason, I have not been streaming the way I usually do, where I open up packs a lot and we do the pack thing. It's been a bit weird, hasn't it? I guess since V-Star Universe, that was the last set that I'd kind of opened and did pack opening streams for. But I guess the way V-Star Universe launched kind of soured like the whole collecting space for me, and changed the way I wanted to kind of look at this year. Which is why I prioritize playing the game over collecting and pack opening on streams.
Pussyo, my little pickle, Kombucha.
Joe, thank you for 28 months.
These nuts. Have a nice day.
That's a long time. How many months is 3 years? 36. So technically we have 6 months to go since... No, I think like stream anniversary is like 3 or 4 months. Joe, I know, it's been a while. What's good, man? We're doing a big catch-up. Saying hello to everybody. Jake, ZD, Haravex, thanks for tuning in. Mitchie, I didn't even say hello to Mitchie. What a dog. I'm a bad man. How you going, Mitchie? Love you, bro. Fonzie, who is this guy? It's me. I'm back. I do exist. Qua, long time no see. I didn't say hello to you. NA John, what's good now, John? How you going, dude? Necro, what's happening? Poker Comments, thanks for sharing. Godlike Zone, good to see you. I like seeing all these names again because I have missed a lot of these familiar faces. Triple A, what's good? OnyX Life, we said hello. Ricky, what's good, Ricky? Amber, I'm glad your trip was good, even if there were no cards to buy there. Going to Japan is still wicked. Boompa Loompa, it's the man himself. Thanks for tuning in, Boompa Loompa. How you going, dude? Package, what's happening? If I've missed you, just say hello again. Pab, how was Perth? We're going to get into it. He's coming down, man. I feel like I've got everybody. Did you say his Perth results earlier? No, we're going to go through it. And Epix. Did I say hello to Epix? What's good, Epix? So opening a case of EV Heroes when? Yeah, so...
Pussyo, my little
I guess the whole...
kombucha.
Cider,
These
thank
nuts.
you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you for 3 months, Cider, mate. You boss. Good to see you. I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you people. Gengar, thank you for the gifted. Bring! It's still there,
You the
Blendy.
Pokemon guy, bro?
Yes!
It's still there. I'm going to revamp all of these alerts before I start streaming Scarlet Violet because they are stale. I'll figure out that bring as well. It was sweet to meet you too, Pab. So Pab's one of the people that I met at OCIC, which was wicked. What's your shirt? Never forget EV Heroes. Have I not worn this on stream? I feel like I would have worn this on stream. That's the day that EV Heroes pre-orders went live and the Pokemon Center broke and it was never the same. So yeah, I guess the way that V-Star Universe launched and how scarce it was and seeing like, so yeah, I got it custom. Seeing how like difficult it was for people to get boxes of that set and like keep collecting Pokemon cards ruined it for me in a sense. And I felt really guilty because I bought a case of it and I got a decent deal. So the story with the case, if you haven't heard, is that I waited for 2 or 3 days after launch. A good friend of mine helped me out with the case and we got it for, I think it was like, 2,000 Australian dollars total. So it was like $100 a box. And we got it before all the resealing bullshit started. But I felt really bad because I was like, I felt like it was very gluttonous. You know what I mean? It was like super self-indulgent. And I spoke about that when I was opening it. So after that was done and then seeing like all the Scarlet Violet stuff happen, I kind of just got soured on collecting. And like, for me, it's a little bit different. And I've spoken about this where I can like open up boxes and then because I'm making content, it's kind of like justified. But for Scarlet Violet, it didn't feel like it was going to be justified because the sets were so expensive. And on top of that, it felt weird opening up sets for a game I hadn't played yet. And I didn't play the game because I was getting ready for OCIC. So I didn't want to be like a DGen gamer in January because I wanted to just commit to playing Pokemon, the card game, as much as I possibly could. And I didn't play it in December because of V-Star Universe. So it was just like cooked, right? And then all the stuff with Scarlet Violet has happened where like you've got the resealed boxes. They're not really tamper proof and you just can't buy it without it costing an arm and a leg. Like it's just completely scuffed. Like the whole space is just broken for Japanese card collecting. So you spend like what? How much is it in USD? It's usually like 100 to 120 USD for a box of Scarlet Violet or Violet, sorry. In Australia, at least, it's like 170 Australian dollars to get a box of Scarlet or Violet. I think it's more for Violet. I haven't really been keeping up. I think it's probably more now.
Pussyo, my little pickle.
So
kombucha.
It doesn't make sense, does it? Like
These
you're
nuts.
spending.
Have a nice day.
You're spending $180 and then you're just getting completely cooked if you don't get a good card. So I didn't want to touch it. Perry, thanks for 26 months. I just spent the weekend with you, so I've had enough of you to last me till Sydney. Perry, thanks for a lovely weekend, my guy. You made it very enjoyable. You made it very fun. You made it worth it. You and Revel. I was up in Perth with Perry Melbourne,
my little pickle,
Revel,
kombucha,
a few others.
these nuts. Have a nice day.
Blue-eyed Sage. Think of 8 months. What's good, man? Mr. EV Heroes himself. Good to see you, dude. I saw your you did a little break in the Discord the other day. I was on the plane. I couldn't actually watch it properly. Dicko Cards. I missed you too. Good to see you, Dicko. I know you're in the back of my head every time I'm thinking about going live. I know that you want to see I know you want to see the lives. I'm back now. It's good. Dicko, thanks for coming down, man. So, camera's doing something fucky. You know what it is? It's the sun. So the sun is coming up and down and I've left the window open because I kind of like the natural light in this room. So I hope you don't mind that. Unless you want me to close the curtain and I'll just go to static lighting. I just prefer dynamic lighting, which is the sun. The sun is yo-yoing. So there's 2 things that happen with Scarlet Violet. There's the whole price shenanigans. And One other thing that I kind of wanted to do with Scarlet Violet this year was start doing post-rotation content. So in the past, when I open up Japanese Pokemon cards, I can use those because they come out a month or two before the English sets. Can use them in like proxy decks because I don't like using printed cards as proxies. So opening up Japanese sets in the past was great because it's like I get the Japanese cards and I can use them as proxies while I get to make content out of it. And also you get a decent crack at these really nice looking cards. Some of them are worth more than others. So you get a return on your opening. But with Scarlet and Violet, it's just not there. So we didn't open any. It's not on the channel. It hasn't been here. I don't know if people are like upset about that. Like, damn, JLove didn't open up Scarlet Violet. Like, he fell off. But I just didn't want to do it. It just was like, what's the point? What's the point of opening it? So that's why I didn't open it. And seeing the market do what it's done the last 2 months is just ridiculous. So I don't even know if people are. I don't even know if people are collecting Japanese Pokemon cards anymore.
Kombucha.
Like, are you still collecting?
These nuts. Have a nice day.
Hyper Wolf, thank you for 19 months. Good to see you, dude. Did you jump in the stream? I feel like you jumped in yesterday's or 2 days ago a scuffed Perth stream. Thank you for 19 months. Your support is a long ass time. Absolute boss. Open gold box instead. I still haven't even done that. I still haven't even opened up the Precious Collector box. I haven't seen my promo. I'm still master setting it. Needs some trainers. This is for Visa, yeah? Amber, I've pumped the brakes hard. Yeah, everybody is, yeah. I bought a PTB for the first time in ages. Otherwise, it's just singles. You know what? The premium trainer boxes are pretty good value. These things here, this has been like this is like the best value. I think it is anyway. What do you get? You get like, do you get like 20 packs in there? So you get 10 of each set. How much you guys look at the back? You get 10 of each set. So there's a chance you could actually walk away with a steal. These were easier to get than Scarlet Violet boxes. So I feel like these were like a bit of a hidden gem. I can say this now, like if this pumps PTBs, like who the fuck cares? Honest, like it ain't me. Trust me, it's not me pumping it. If people go stupid because I just said that, then that's a skill issue. It already pumped. There you go. Good. So I can't get in trouble for that. But I was able to get some Scarlet Violet because of the PTBs, which was good. I wouldn't buy that at more than like 8,000 yen, by the way. I think I paid 8,000 yen for those, like 7,000, 8,000 yen. And it's like a 6,000 yen product. So it's like, whatever. I can accept that. Yeah, it's good to be back, Hunter Todd. Thanks for coming down, man. I've taken a break because it's no longer fun. And that's the big thing, isn't it? It's just not fun. Every single man and his dog is a reseller trying to flip for profit or rip you off with inflated eBay prices. So I don't actually know like who is collecting Japanese Pokemon cards at the moment. And it just felt gross to be like, hey guys, watch me open up Pokemon cards that you can't afford or you can't justify spending the money on. But I can. It was more fun when we could all do it together, when it was like people sharing their hits and talking about it. You had people opening up sets, boxes in the Discord all the time. That was more fun. Those were the good old days. I don't know whether the English set coming out is going to have any impact on the prices of Japanese sets. I guess because I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I don't think the English version of SV releasing is going to have impact on the Japanese sets. So has the texture not changed? Because that's what I thought. I was thinking that with the border change that we're definitely going to get better textured English cards. Has the English texture really not changed? Is that actually facts? Cards have already leaked. So the texture is not the same as the Japanese versions. By the way, Appa AG, I did not scam the Perth League Cup. It was a bit of a bad set. I'll get into it. Texture hasn't compared to the EX cards. Wow. That feels like a bit of a whiff. Why would they do that?
Pussyo.
That feels like a huge whiff.
Kombucha. These nuts. Have a nice day.
Yeah, historically, English hasn't had any impact on JPN. Do you want to know something really grim? Do you want to know something really, really grim? I just spent 20,000 yen on Japanese Pokemon cards. And all I bought were EXs, stuff like Radiant, not Radiant, but the new Holucha.
Pussyo, my
Stuff
little
like
pickle,
Klefki.
kombucha, D's nuts. Have a nice day.
LeChunk, Cardiacs. Hey, Cardiacs, don't go. Thank you for 16 months. Don't go, Cardiacs. I miss you. Ampharos EX, Gardevoir EX. I bought nothing but EX cards because of post rotation, and I want to make post rotation decks, and I want to stream those. So I had to buy the cards because I can't. Ordinarily, I just buy the boxes, open up like 3 or 4 boxes, have a bit of fun, get a lot of playables, and then Bob's your uncle. It's like a 3-for. You know, you got the content, you got the card, the secret rare for your collection. You start your master set, and you get a lot of dupes of EX cards. So you're gaming, and I just wasn't gaming because I didn't get to open up any Scarlet Violet. So I had to go buy 4s of like Gardevoir, Ampharos, Miraidon. I spent 20k on playables he can't play. Yeah, it's for the content though. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna write it off. It stinks. But I had to do it because of OCD. The leaked making of video from Millennium Print Group shows a guy literally copying from a JP print sheet of SRs to make the English texture. And I was thinking, based on that, I'm like, well, basically, in my mind, I'm thinking if they're going to get silver borders, that's their way of trying to bring it in line with the Japanese sets. So, makes sense that it's just going to copy the Japanese texture. Like, they're just going to give him the file. Like, hey, bro, instead of you, like, tracing the assignment word for word, how about I just give you the Word doc? Instead of you handwriting this in the assignment, here's the Word doc. Just copy-paste it, bro. We're on the same team here. Nope. They're just like, you know what? I like it that Bill has to, like, layer by layer replicate the secret rare texturing. You know, make him work for that money. It's brain dead. That's a brain dead decision. Sorry. I think that's a huge brain dead decision. It's only going to make things worse. If they improve the texture of English cards, made it more in line with the Japanese sets, then I feel like that would help ease a bit of the tension. It wouldn't solve it, but it would just ease a bit of the tension.
Pussyo, my little pickle, kombucha, D's nuts. Have a nice day.
Yo, Segred DOS. Love from Brazil. Thank you so much for the resub. Thank you for 3 months, you absolute boss. You know, I've met a lot of people from the Latin America region in the last month, which is crazy. So I'm looking forward to meeting you in Brazil. I actually played against the dude, my round 9 at OCIC. He traveled 64 hours from Brazil. And he made day 2. It was a really good match. It was a really good round. It was a really good experience. That's one of the coolest parts of the last month or so, is meeting so many people. I did play Trainer Skits in round 7, which was a fantastic way to end the day. I had a great last round with Trainer. That was fun. And we had a good chat. Thanks again, Trainer. Thanks, yeah, brah. I had bought one JP UR V-Star energy, and when it arrived compared to the Grand Zenith UR energy, actually so sad how much the JP energy was. I know, and we can't even use them, which makes 0 sense because it's just an energy card. We can't forget that Scarlet and Violet is still new, more hype at the beginning, but I think it's going to drop a little. I think it should drop when Triplet Beat comes out, which is usually what happens. People get distracted and then the older cards drop in value. But I don't know how much of an impact Triplet Beat is going to have on Scarlet Violet. So I wouldn't hold your breath on that one because the market is very unpredictable. Nothing makes sense anymore. There's really no rhyme or reason to anything that's going on. Like, it's really difficult to find. It's really difficult to pinpoint like a reason why things are happening. It's just one day you wake up and all of a sudden Pikachu cards are stonking, or VMAX Climax is going mental, or, you know, what happened with I feel like Dream League cards had like another pump or something. One thing that so like okay, let's go have a look. Let's have a peek. All right.
Pussio, my little pickle,
we gonna display all
kombucha,
that?
D's nuts. Have a nice day.
PokeLotto, thank you so much for 8 months. Good to see you, PokeLotto. What's good? Why are you vomiting? Why are you sick? What do the side tabs on Card Rush say? These cards are on sale. These cards have damage. This is oh wait, is my mouse not on the screen? There. You can buy these are pre-built decks. Parts for decks. Popular cards and standard. Popular cards and expanded. That's all really. I saw this. I saw this morning. I was like, perchance a 50,000 yen or ripper. So these are the 50,000 yen or ripper where you're supposed to get a better chance at finding these really expensive cards. And it's really tempting to buy something like this and give yourself a shot at getting like Marnie or Sightseer or Miriam. It seems like a good value proposition, but the whole thing is that the Oripa prices are justified. Like we make these mental gymnastics to justify the Oripa prices because we're like, oh, well, the card is worth a lot. The card is worth heaps that I'm chasing. So 50,000 yen is only like a fifth of what the card is worth. So like you can't lose here. Like you can't lose if you find Irida, like you're still kind of winning-ish. If you find Gardevoir, you only lost 20,000 yen, but it's all relative. The only reason the Oripa is priced as much as it is because the single price is priced as high as it is. But the single price being priced as high as it is founding in nothingness. So it's all just inflated and it's just stacking. The inflation on these cards is just stacking. That's how they get you with the Oripa, essentially. I mean, if you really want to talk about, Oripa and like how cooked this situation is with Oripa, I mean, do you want me to really like just blow the lid on the whole thing? Because I can do it, and it'll just be chatting. It'll be like ultimate chatting. If I do this, it's going to be like 5 minutes of chatting. So you need to be prepared for just chatting. Okay, here's how Oripa works. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Okay. Everyone is chatting? Okay. So the way it works is this. First of all, something that isn't like a luxury item. Let's scroll Margie's Twitter until we see like an everyman card, the common man's card, a poor person's rich card. Can we get some Pokemon in the chat? Come on, surely. This is all, they haven't been doing any like, no, these are all like luxury cards that they're doing it to at the moment. That's a luxury card. Hang on. Okay. We scrolling forever, right? It feels like it, huh? Let me, Hang on, Momars, what's good? All right. What if we search Margie? Will this come up? Yeah, okay, here we go. All right. But we're not seeing their post. How did Perth go? Terribly. It was really bad. Oh, this stinks. I can't find what I'm looking for. I can't find my example. Do you want me to talk about Up AG? Do you want me to talk about that? Because that was sus. That was a very sus. Oh, geez. Oh, wait. This is the scrolling just went out of my control. It was like Omega scrolling. I think I saw some Pokemon. Okay, here we go. All right. 23rd of Feb. That wasn't even that long ago. All right. Let's use Gardevoir. Here's the example. All right. So we're going to go through this. Shimeli, what's good, Shimeli? How you going? Jake, I'm going to do like a Worlds OCIC Perth recap in a little bit. We're just running through like a big catch up because I haven't gone live in like 3 months. Right now, I'm about to blow the lid on the way Oripa works. So this is how it works, okay? Bear with me because this is going to be just straight up chatting. Margie and card stores like them. Oh, wait, hang on. I don't want to get in trouble. Clip it and ship it, all right? Some card stores in Japan, not naming them, this is just one example I've picked out of a hat, will post pictures like this up on social media because the power of social media, we all understand the reach of Twitter and SNS, and it's the way advertising works now, all right? The reach that you get through people sharing things and clicking things and engagement is greater than you get by putting an advertisement on TV or a banner on a website. So some stores will put posts up like this, and this is not what it's presenting itself as. It's an advertisement. This is them saying, hey, this card here, the Gardevoir EX Special Art, we're going to buy it off you for 28,000 yen near mint or 30,000 yen in perfect condition. They post stuff like this, and they can do this for basically any single card, all right? And the idea is you go to the store and then you sell the card to them. And then you get some money, win-win. And then they sell it for this new price. But what kind of happens a little bit before, what we're theorizing is happening, is that before the post like this goes up, the post that we're looking at now, maybe like a week or so before, maybe, I don't know, there's like a semi-buyout on the market where the price that it was before this post is maybe 20,000 yen, so 10,000 yen cheaper. And a potential buyout happens where they're all bought up at this cheaper price. And then once that store, I don't know, any store, has a big enough supply of it, they put a post up like this, knowing that it's going to reach a lot of people. And then everybody says, okay, I guess this card's worth this much now because I can go to the store and sell it and get 28,000 yen. So I guess now it's worth 30,000 yen. And generally what happens is all other stores start following suit, and the new price on the secondary market is now dictated. But the incredible thing there is that, or the wild part of that is that if before that post goes up, they do a buyout and they get a massive amount of stock at 20,000 yen, let's say they have like 100 cards, they're then able to sell it at their store for 30,000 yen. So just making another 10,000 yen per, purely because they put a post up and this new price becomes the new standard. And what some collectors do is they start speculating that the price is going to go up even more. So the people that don't have it are like, okay, I think it's going to become a bit popular now. I'll buy it at 30,000 yen.
These nuts. Have a nice day.
Thank you for the resub, Brewer in the air. Thank you for 24 months. We're doing a bit of a chatting. Thank you for 2 years of your very long support, you absolute boss. So now the speculation starts and people are like, oh, the price is going to go up. So they go to the store and they buy it for 30,000 yen, which is crazy. Okay. Because if people enter a frenzy where now they're like, oh, we have to get it before it goes up even more, they manage to sell all the stock. But let's say they don't sell it. Let's say they raise the price. They do this, right? And they bank on it. They bank on the market going into a frenzy. Okay. But people see it through it and they're like, I ain't reading all that. They're like, I ain't reading all that. I'm not getting sucked into this frenzy. And they don't buy the cards. Well, if they had done this big buyout of all these cards a week or two before, they're now stuck with dead stock, aren't they? Yeah. Seems like a bit of an L. They got to kind of hold the loss there because they didn't make any money off it and it failed. And that's where Oripa comes into play, because with Oripa, you're able to offload all of these cards in these mystery packs as part of a suite of different cards that you could potentially find and sell them in total for the value or the price that you are going for, by littering in all of these cards, these dud cards amongst all of these well-established expensive cards, the cards that this pump has worked on, like Shield Mining or Sightseer or Erica, the EV Heroes cards, the Dream League cards, you're able to sell the Orippa. You're able to sell all of the cards on this top row, on the hopes and dreams of you finding a card in the top row, and then all of these other cards that aren't worth the price of admission on the Orippa are now the dud cards that you land on. So with these high class Orippa, right, cards that don't feel like they should be worth as much as they are, like Acerola, okay, or like Marnie's Pride, right? It just shouldn't be worth as much as it is, but because it's as part of these premium Orippa products, they're able to then sell it. If they're unable to sell the card as a single, they're able to go, all right, screw it, throw them in the Orippa and sell them behind Umbreon VMAX, which everybody already knows is like $2,500 or $3,000, or Licia, which everybody has accepted is 4,000 yen, and what is it, 40,000 yen or 400,000 yen.
Donald.
I'm skipping that. So do you get it? Basically, they bank on trying to pump. They buy all the cards maybe a week or two before. Potentially, they buy all the cards a week or two before. Okay. Then 2 weeks later, they go, all right, it's time to pump him. They put the post up. Everybody shares it around. If it's very controversial, it gets more engagement. Like 33 likes, but 36,000 views on this tweet is crazy. That means it's getting in front of people, whether they like it or not. Okay. Then if people go into a frenzy and they buy the card at the pumped price, they make a lot of money. If they don't manage to sell them at this new pumped price and it becomes dead stock, they refuse to lower the price of it. The secondary market price does not shift and go down, and they simply just chuck them into the Orippa and they sell them behind the curtain of cards like this on the top road, which are the copium cards that you're hoping to get, but you never will. You just end up with these cards here. And then the craziest part of all that, I'm starting to see rumor that if you go to card stores to try to sell them for this buy price, they actually knock off, 5,000 yen because there might be a little bit of edge whitening, or they just come up with reasons to not give you this price. So in actuality, you're not even getting the buy price because they're knocking you back. I'm pretty sure there's a video floating around of a guy that made the example, like he basically did a case study in Japan, and the card stores were like, nah, we ain't buying that for that price. We're going to give you only this much. So you don't even get what it's worth. How does this keep happening? Because people are in a frenzy right now. And we did have a lot of people in the Discord that went to Japan and tried to sell cards and said, yeah, some stores wouldn't give them the advertised value, even though the cards were essentially flawless. They wouldn't give them the actual advertised value that they were offering to buy it from them for. So that's what's happening there. I know it sounds crazy. It basically is like tinfoil hat moment. It sounds insane. But it's all we got. All we got is the conspiracy theory. So we're trying to find something to hold on to. That makes a little bit of sense. So we're sticking to it. There have even been instances where some stores have refused to buy PSA 10 versions of cards that they've advertised that they're buying PSA 10 versions of. I've seen that happen. So they've said, there was a story where where Margie put up a post and we're like, we're going to buy this PSA 10 Shield Mining off from you. We're going to buy it off you for this much. Dude went to the store. They were like, no, we ain't buying that. So it's like, why did you put the post up? Because you wanted to set the new market price. Because you wanted someone to come to the store and buy it from the store for that much. Creating imaginary secondary market prices. Thank you for talking about this. Far too many people are business as usual, but this stuff isn't normal. It's super sus. But you know what? People don't really care about this. People don't really, if I made a video about this, it sounds crazy. And it's kind of a little bit, sorry if I'm being like, you guys are too stupid to understand it. I don't think I'm doing the best job of explaining it. I'm running on 3 hours sleep, and I'm in the middle of fasting. So I haven't really articulated this fantastically. But you get the idea. Step 1, buy all the cards at the low market price because people aren't looking at that card for some reason at that point in time. It's why I wanted to pull up the Braxian card. You know, I want to keep scrolling. Surely.
Donald J. Trump, nice story Sleepy Joe, you have no proof this is all just chatting. Joe Biden, shut up Donald the first bet you are like Wonder Woman and don't even collect cards. Donald, image cards, all the cards I even have a famous gif of me willing to trade cards, the best gif, you are take new sleepy boy.
Shut up. Why doesn't anything come up for this? It's really annoying when... Okay, maybe that's going to pull it up. Maybe I was just searching it poorly. Oh, here we go. This is exactly what I was looking for. Do you understand? This is exactly what I was looking for before. Okay. So, Braxian character rare from Incandescent Arcana. This was the perfect example. Incandescent Arcana, sorry, is S11A. Okay, so what happened with this card? What's it worth now? Did it retrace? Love that word. Oh, it retraced. It's pulled back a little bit actually. Oh. Sold out. Okay. Sold out. This is why this card is sold out. Where is it? Sold out at how much?
Time to buy all Welder full art cards at low price lol.
Okay. This is probably the best example of it because you can really quickly see how harmless this looks, but then it's super nefarious when you dig into it. So you kind of had to be there at the time, but this was just because this is a character rare from Incandescent Arcana, and you were getting 3 of these per booster box. Vicky Lulu, thank you for the follow. Because you're getting 3 of these per booster box, this card really wasn't worth a whole lot of money. It was paired up, you know, it was in that price pool of just character rares where they just weren't worth a whole lot because they were just simply character rares. Where's another character rare from this set? See? So there's literally no difference between a card like Smeagol character rare and Braxian. Really common card, 120 yen. Now, this card was about that much back when the set came out. It was like 200 yen, okay? It was like a 200 to 300 yen card. Maybe it was a little bit more popular because it had Serena on it, but it wasn't worth a whole lot. But then at some point, one day, Margie decided to put this tweet up. And you know what? I feel like if I look... Oh, damn it. Wait, did I lose it? Hang on. Yeah. Okay, I want to open that one. Oh, and I got that one too. Perfect. That's going to just prove my point. It's just going to prove my point. Is there another one? No, they don't have another one, but it's going to prove my point. You know, they put this tweet up and they were like, hey, we want to buy this card off you for 600 yen right now. Okay, fine. So now all of a sudden they're just like, this card's worth 600 yen. But this card was in such ample supply that they were most definitely able to buy hundreds of these at the very low price of 200 yen. And then when they had enough, they were like, hey, all of a sudden this card is now worth 800 yen. We're buying it off you for 600 yen now. Let's go. And that was on the 26th of October. And then a day later, on the 27th, they were like, you know what? Another 200 yen. Let's just put it up a little bit more. So they just decided this card was going to go from being a 200 yen card to a 1,000 yen card. And like in isolation, it doesn't look like a whole lot because it's going from 200 to 1,000, but it's just 5 times now. They've just overnight decided this card is worth 5 times more. And it worked because now that's the price of the card. It was worth, you know, $2. Now it's worth 10. And I'm just making an assumption, but I feel like a lot of the stores were able to just do a big buyout when no one was looking at this card, and then a few days later decide now we pump it, and that's it. That's now the new established market price. Now cards like this don't really go into Oripa, but it just all scales. You do that with an expensive card, and then you can slot into these Oripa. And if they don't sell, because maybe these cards sit on the shelf, right? But if they don't sell, it's fine. You just put them in the Oripa. You put 2,500 yen times 2,000 yen. What's that? Let's go to calculator. I love doing calculator. So 2,000 yen times 2,500 yen. So they just make 5 million yen. They make 55,000 yen off of these Oripa, right? 55,000 Australian dollars off of this Oripa. So once this Oripa completely sells out, and there are 975 left, you don't have to sell all of these cards individually, because that's going to take ages. It's going to take a long time to sell all of these cards individually, especially these high ticket cards, like all of the stuff on the top road. It's hard to sell those, you know, because not everyone's got a lot of money. But if you just put them into all one big pool, and then you say 2,000 yen gives you a chance at it, you can just sell them all. And these all rippers sell very quickly. Like they will sit on a website like Card Rush for maybe like 2 or 3 days, and then they're gone. This is 150
Pussio,
times
my little
50,000
pickle,
yen.
Kombucha. These nuts. Have a nice day.
August, thank you so much for the resub. Thank you for 11 months, your boss. Not that special, not as special as 12. Thank you, man. I appreciate your support. Oh, I said the A word. Holy crap. 82,000 Australian dollars. So this one, when this Oripa sells out, they will have made over 3 days 82,000 Australian dollars. 55,000 US dollars. And they would have sold Lycia, 3 Umbreons, 3 Shieldmani, 3 Sightseer. Whereas you go and look at something like SM12A, and, you know, there's still 7 Sightseer sitting there. It's kind of hard to move them, you know, because no one's coming in and dropping $2,500 or $2,000 on a card. Or you're not going to get 7 people do that over the space of a week, but you are going to get 7 people think that they can huff the copium and just get it from the Oripa. So they're like, fine, I'll spend 50,000 yen. Does that make sense? You feeling me? That's the
Pussio,
lid lifted.
My little pickle. Kombucha.
That's the sauce.
These nuts. Have a nice day.
What are we pumping today? I'm explaining how the pumping works. You feel me? That's it. Look, or maybe that's it. Sorry, I should say that's maybe it. It's all just one big conspiracy. JavaScar, how you going, JavaScar? Sorry, I didn't say hello. Stevie, they do trade in as well for a lower price of the cards pulled from a Ripper, and then do it all over again. Yeah, so apparently you go to the stores, you buy the Ripper, you open it up, and then you trade in straight away, and you just keep going until you get a good card. And this stuff just flies off the shelf. I'm only talking about online mystery packs, online Ripper. I'm not even talking about...
Will worlds crash the Japanese Pokemon markets?
Maybe. I'm not even talking about in-store Ripper, of which there are hundreds. Amber Wendy, I think you can testify for that. They're all over the place in like vending machines. So that's what's cooking. Why would it crash? I've kind of thought about this a little bit. You're gonna get a lot of people fly.
Card to buy twice baked Julian.
You're gonna get a lot of people fly to Japan and want to sell their cards, and I think there's gonna be more sellers than buyers. And if that happens, then it might crash. It might happen. I think a lot of people are going to be disappointed at Worlds.
Pumping works through a thrusting motion, but this can be achieved through various methods and means. Some involve machinery, some are more labor intensive.
Thank you, Momars. Personally, I'm done with JP cards. The market is too insane as US-based collector. It's really sad, isn't it? It's just sad that like people are just like, I'm out. I don't blame them at all. And I spoke about this at the start of the stream. It's why I'm like falling asleep on pack openings, because it's just not fun. What do you think is a good price to actually buy these cards? Like if I have a full set but one call, what? Huh? Sorry, I don't get. Are you talking about if you're missing one from a master set? At that point, you kind of have to just bite the bullet. If you want to finish the master set, you kind of just have to bite the bullet and get it, or accept that you're never going to get it. The price of the Miriam SAR makes me sad.
Who is this lady and what is she saying?
I hope I can pull it. If I can pull it, I'll be pretty happy. If I don't, I'm going to be pretty sad because I'm just never going to get it.
Can I have her number?
You okay, Mo? You can't make it to Worlds anymore. I'll be coming back from the EU org first. Ooh. That's a bit of a shame. There's going to be, I think a lot of people are going to, like there's a lot of traveling. I guess if you're a player and you're trying to get to Worlds by finishing, by getting strong finishes at international events, you're going to be traveling a lot.
Please,
that's kind of where I'm at
Ryan
now.
speaking. I'm down, bad brother J, help a TTS out my guy.
Leonhardt kind of said the same thing in fewer words about not being happy with opening packs anymore. I think Leonhardt is... I don't believe a word the guy says. I find it really hard to believe what he says. Hello, Mitchie. I feel... Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. I feel bad that I didn't get to catch up with you guys after the interview with PokeRev. But I kind of had to put that video up ASAP. So I put that video up like a day before OCIC. And that was like the response to the PokeRev interview was wicked. I'm glad so many people took that well, because I knew it was going to be kind of like
Pussyo, my little pickle,
JLUV,
kombucha, D's nuts. Have a nice day.
Collabing with the big boys now. Cass and Agnes, thank you for 10 months. Yeah, I was a little bit, I thought that like people might have like been a bit put off by that, because it's like, oh, he's doing collabs with the big boys now. But Rev was a real one, and I was glad I was able to show that in the interview, because dude's super genuine. A very humble guy as well.
And fart is the best, my guy. Anyways, look at this pack, that's 20k jillion worth. It's so litty, fellow cool collectors.
You're just spamming, Mo. So Leon, not Leon, Rev. Rev was a legend, and he helped me out with a little bit of a problem that was happening after that whole interview. I think we chatted for about 3.5 hours.
I love the
that
last
day.
interview. Can you interview TBJ?
I think we spoke for about 3.5 hours.
Okay, I'll refund Ilamau.
Fuck, I really got to turn TTS off, don't I? We caught up for about 3.5 hours, which was sick. Rev gave me a lot of his time that day, which I really appreciate. Yeah, I'm turning TTS off because you guys... when I say you guys, I mean Mo. Sorry about that. So Rev was wicked, and I was glad you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did. I was sorry. I was a bit like upset that I couldn't stream after, because I kind of wanted to chat with you, but I had to jump straight into OCIC. So OCIC, if you don't know, was the Oceanic International. If you don't know what that is, it was the Oceanic region's major tournament for this current season. So January, February, I'd been putting in a lot of work to get to the skill level required to get a decent result at OCIC. Day one was Friday, and I did vlog it. So one of the next videos coming up is the OCIC vlog. It's very long. It's like a 30 to 40 minute video, because there was just so much that was happening in it. So I'm going to try and put that up this week. But basically, didn't make day two, which was a bit disappointing. Got really close. I lost the winning in. I spoke about, you saw the tweets. But I got top 128. So I think I came 74th out of 128. I was 74th out of like 520 people. So it was like top 15%. And I was really happy with the result. Considering the skill level that was out there, my resistance was like 64%. So I had a really solid day. And I got 100 championship points, which puts me halfway to the invite for Worlds. So like the push for Worlds has gone from being like a dream, like, can he qualify? Like, can I do it? To like, okay, I'm actually like halfway there. We just need to back that, like the OCIC performance with another strong performance at some of the next ones, and we're gonna be good to go. Day two I was super tired after OCIC as well, because like you just bumped into so many people. Pab was there, so Pab we paired in round two, which was fun. It was a really difficult event. Did Boo ever reach out to you? No, she didn't. No. But I did catch up with trainer Chip, which was sick. Chip Ritchie absolute legend of a dude. That guy is super, super humble. And just so generous. Like, he bumped into me at the end of day 3, and it was just really nice. Like, it was just probably one of the coolest dudes I met at the event. And I met up with Ross Gilbert as well, so PTCGO Radio, because he was casting too. And we did an interview. So I actually interviewed Chip and Ross, which was sick. And I caught up with Rahul Reddy, who's an American player, and he was fun to catch up with. So we'd kind of spoken a bit last year. So I was looking forward to meeting him, and that was really cool. Meeting all the American players was really fun. Connor Finton as well. He's a nice guy. And I interviewed Azul after it was all said and done as well. So Azul won the tournament, if you guys didn't see that. But I managed to grab him for a quick interview at the end of it all too. So that's why the vlog is so big, because there's just so many interviews in it. Because I just was like talking to so many people. But like between like check-in and day 3, there's just like a gap, because during the event, I'm just like focusing on the event. So I can't really rip the camera out and like vlog all the time, because then I'm just going to lose focus. Pokemon tournaments are half endurance competitions. They really are. They really are. I feel like I've gotten acclimated to the mental fatigue side of the game. But OCIC was a fucking test. It was a test and a half. It was a test and a half. So the tournament overall was really good. I played against... I'm going to talk about this in the vlog, but we'll just go through. I played against Pedro, which was a really fun mirror match. Christian Twami as well. He was a nice guy. A lot of international players. Ryota Ishiyama from Japan, who came top 4 last year at Worlds. And Nico as well, who won OCIC 2 years prior. Or he won the last OCIC. He was a really nice guy too. So I'm looking forward to going to Europe. So now I'm going to Europe. So that's the whole thing. I'm going to London in April. From like the 10th of April until like after EYC, which is I think like 15th to 19th. So I wanted to do that. Like I wanted to do it, but like committing to it has been a little bit weird. It feels weird to say like, I'm going to travel. I'm going to go overseas to play Pokemon. Like, what am I doing? Am I fucking crazy? But I figured if I could just sell a lot of cards, if I sell a lot of English cards, like I'll get the money for the ticket and then I'll be able to go. Why am I in this screen? I should just be in this screen. Yeah, I should be in this screen. Sorry about that. So, yeah, I guess I'm like full in on this season. I was playing Lost Box. I played Lost Box at OCIC and it was really good. And then I played it again at Perth. So this last weekend was Perth Regional. So if you don't know, Perth is on the west coast of Australia. It's a nice city and the weather was really good. But it's a bit of a flight. It's like three and a half hours from Melbourne to Perth. I'm on the east coast. And we had 96 players, which was really crap. That sucked. So we had 96 players, which meant we didn't get the kicker for top 32. So it was a 7-round day. It was a really short day too, which felt weird, having only 7 rounds. And yeah, it was just weird. Like, I got over the hump of like, I don't know if I'm able to do it or not. Like, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I'm a good enough player. Like, am I dreaming thinking I can go to Worlds? Not 2 hours 50 if the pilot is booking it. And he booked it too. When he decides to actually put the jet thrusters on, it's a 2 hour 50-minute flight. But yeah, one of the big things I kind of struggled with after Brisbane, which was December, was like, am I a good enough player? Or am I just huffing the copium? What's good, Koala? Good to see you. But after getting a strong result at OCIC, I was like, you know what? Okay, I can do it. Like, I've just gotten a strong result. I played against like world-class players. Like, I can do this. So I went into Perth feeling like I could win the event. And I don't think that was I don't think I was being cocky or arrogant. I was like, there's no reason why I can't. That's what it was. It wasn't like, I'm going to do it. It was like, there's no reason why I can't win it. Like, whereas going to tournaments before, it was like, man, I just want to get points. This was like, well, I want to win now. Like, there's no reason why I can't win. So, yeah, we went to the event. I felt fine. Like, I flew into Perth on Thursday. I got a good night's sleep the night before. Friday, we tested, and it was like good to just sort of take it easy. And the day of the event was Saturday. So I was like fully prepared. Like, I'm a very, like, I'm a creature of habit. Like, I have my things that I do I got to get my 2 bottles. I got to get my 2 cans of V. I've got to make sure I've got water. I've got to get the right muesli bars. I've got to have the right nutrition. I need to be eating green the day before. Like, we have to go in healthy, low carb. I'm like, it's just because I'm like wired dumb. So I had all that. I was like, everything was feeling great. The day of the event, I was like a little bit anxious, but I think that's normal. I won round 1 against Lugia, which is not a good matchup. Like, it's just hard because Lost Box into Lugia is tricky. But not impossible. So I won round 1 and I was feeling good. Then I tied round 2 because in round 2, in game 1, I started out like shit and I thought I should play it out and I was dumb to do that. I should have scooped it, but I'm just always scared of scooping game 1 and then bricking game 2. I played Rayquaza, Raikou with Raikou V and Stone. Lost Box. So I didn't scoop game 1, I lost it, and at the very end of the game, I was kind of in it, and then I Mirage Gated the Psychic Energy onto Comfy instead of Sableye, because Comfy and Sableye are right next to each other, and that is just a dumb gameplay error, which I've never done, but I did it, so that happened, and obviously no takebacks, and that was fine, I owned it, so I lost game 1, then game 2, dude bricked, and won game 2, and then game 3 we just couldn't finish it, so we tied, which was fine. Then going into round 3, what was my round 3? Okay, so round 3. So this is what I kind of want to talk about with the Australian player base. So I don't want to get like all, I don't want to engage in like the pettiness of, not so much the pettiness, but like sometimes PTCG Twitter can get a little bit caught up, you know, in itself. Like, I don't want to throw the word drama because I think when you say like, oh, they're so dramatic, like there's so much drama, like it paints the discourse instantly gets like poisoned because people are like, oh, drama, and then like the core of the topic gets overlooked because people are just like, oh, drama, fuck it. But there could actually be like a really important topic that needs to be discussed there, but because it's sucked in, it's surrounded by this cloud of drama, people are just like, oh, drama, I'm switching off, okay? And it's the same 50 people stuck in a room with each other all day. Everybody's trying to get clout. A lot of people are trying to get clout. I shouldn't say everybody. A lot of people are trying to get clout. So it's always like, can you get the zinger? Can you get the follow, like extra follow of having a great little hot take, right? So I don't want to engage in that. And this isn't, I don't want to like shit on anybody. Yeah. I don't want to like add fuel to the fire. That's the main thing there. Can you get to the juice? Yes. I just need to preface. This being your first year in competitive, you're learning that the Oz player scene is incredibly strong and it isn't talked about by the rest of the world. And it isn't. It isn't. There is a high concentration of really, really good players. But it's funny you should say that, Trainer Skits, because nobody really talks about the Oz player scene. And as somebody who's come in new, there's some things that I just observed over the weekend. Now, let me be clear. This is not everybody. There are legends and most people are cool. But one thing with Perth was that I noticed there was like a lot of sharking happening like all day, which was just lame. So I feel like if you want to be the best, right? If you want to win, you need to have like a little bit of an edge. You need to have a bit of edge on you. Like you need to have a bit of see you next Tuesday in you, right? But you don't want to go like full heel because then tournaments can have like, if you've never played in a regional, then you wouldn't know this, but like sometimes you can just have a bad feel, like a bad round where like the vibe is like not good and it can like really throw you off the rest of the event. And I think the best players are the ones that are able to like disassociate from what happens in that round and just keep playing through the day. And that's a really difficult thing to do. Now, I had a couple of questionable experiences in my rounds where it left like, it threw me off and like the pressure gets to you, right? The pressure gets to you a little bit. And then all it takes is like one just misstep because you're under pressure. And then like that's cost you the round. You either, you might lose or you tie instead. And I had that in round 3. And it's funny because it came down to that whole prize checking conversation. There's like a bit of prize checking discourse on Twitter. So if you've never played before, if you know about how the TCG works, you need to put 6 prizes down on the side. Those are your prize cards. And to win the game, you need to take all 6 prize cards, right? But sometimes key parts of your deck are prized. So to map your lines and know what you're dealing with in that game of the round, you check your prizes by looking through your deck in a search to see what's missing, and that's what's prized. So sometimes, or on the first deck search, people take a little bit longer. By the rule of the game, you're supposed to take 15 seconds per action, and a deck search is supposed to take 15 seconds. But it's a bit of an unwritten rule that the first deck search can take 1 minute to 90 seconds because you're prize checking and both players doing it. Now, I don't think I'm the first to say this, so I'm not claiming this as my hot take, but round time is shared. So like, if you're taking longer in your turns, you're giving your opponent less time to make decisions and take time in their turn, which is like semi-selfish. You're sharing the pool of time in the round. And if your opponent is playing like a linear deck, then they're going to have a more straightforward game plan, and they're not going to be they're not going to be searching as much, and they don't need to prize check as much. So they're taking less time. But on the counter of that, if your opponent has like a very action heavy deck like Lost Box, then they're going to be taking a lot of actions per turn, and they're going to be taking, so they're going to be naturally taking longer per turn. Not because they're taking longer to make a decision, because they're having 9 or 10 actions per turn at 15 seconds per action. So they're taking longer, right? And I just had a round where I was getting rushed on my turns, but I wasn't rushing my opponent because I was playing to the pace of the round. And I've just seen that become a bit of a thing at like most tournaments, where people kind of trying to shark you on time, but they will not play by their own rule.
Pussyo,
that makes sense.
Pickle,
so
kombucha,
they'll be asking you to hurry up, but then in their turn, they'll be taking a while. Shumanley, thank you for 5 months. Your boss. It's good to see you in the chat again. Thank you. So I just observed that happening, not just at Perth. I've seen that at OCIC, and it happened at Brisbane as well, where like, oh, can you play faster? Meanwhile, they're quick balling and taking 2.5 minutes because they're trying to see which of their energies are prized because they're playing Lugia, and searching through your deck, putting it down, looking at your hand, taking notes, searching through your deck, putting it down, looking at your hand, taking notes. That's too much time. But if I don't, and I didn't say, and I didn't happen in a round, I didn't say anything for 35 minutes. And then I started getting ushered to hurry up at a pivotal point in the game. And I made a mistake because I was rushing, and it cost me that game. And it was a little bit frustrating because then when the next game started, opponent's prize check took 3 minutes. I was looking at my watch, and I just said basically like, look, I'm not going to grief you on that, but if I'm taking a bit of time mid-game when I'm making more actions, and I'm giving you the liberty to prize check as long as you are, like, it doesn't feel right to be rushed along. And you really, the whole thing is, then if you call the judge on that, and you don't have to pick up your pace unless the judge is there, but the crazy thing is, if you're going to threaten to call judge, then the thing you're missing is when the judge comes over, you're going to burn more time. So if you're worried about time being lost, if you're threatening to call judge, you're just kind of, in a way, you're sharking or pressuring to cause your opponent to make a mistake. And it's not in the spirit of the game, because everyone knows that if the judge comes over, the game stops, you might get like a 1 or 2 minute time extension, but maybe 6 minutes might pass, and then you've completely fucked the whole round and you don't get a valuable round in. So it's a two-way street. Prize checking is what it is, but you need to ensure that you're matching the pace of play, and it's a bit rude to ask your opponent to hurry up when you're taking long and they haven't said anything. So maybe I should have said something earlier. I didn't call a judge. Judge wasn't called on me, so maybe I should have said something a little bit earlier before it got to that point. It's on both players, like, hey, we should both be conscious. Did you just say something like, hey, we should just both be conscious of time if we want to get a game 3 in? But the problem with Pokemon is that anything you say can be like taken as passive aggressive. And so like you say that, and then it's like, are you being a dick? And now like, oh, you're a fucking being, you're being a bit of a knob. And then the game becomes passive aggressive, and then the sharking happens. And it's like, all right, if you're going to try and shark me, I'm going to try and shark you. And sharking just stinks. DPLs suck only because you don't get like a proper game. And at the end of the day, like I think most competitors just want to have a good game. When I learned to play, it was a 12-person local scene. 8 of them were world level players. The other 3 just didn't travel, but were just as good. Was a Shark Tank of sink or swim if you want to play. Was awful to new players. Much better now locally where it's a wide range of skill, which leads to fun for all. And yeah, sharking can just like put people off the game, because this is what I'm saying. Like if you've never been to a regional before and that happens to you and you have a negative experience, then you are unlikely to come back to the game. Because the regional leaves a sour taste in your mouth and you don't want to go through it again. And it's not a pleasant feeling when it happens, especially when a judge comes around. Some people aren't prepared for that and it can just get really uncomfortable very quickly. Notes cannot be read by your opponent, but they must be clear and legible, explainable to the judge. That's right. So that's that. There were instances of people just trying to shark during the day. And I won't go into names. But yeah, Appa AG was asking about what happened in top 8. The dude had to take a flight. He had to take the flight. Like, he had to take it. Otherwise, he was going to have... For his personal reasons, he had to take that flight. I think... Like, my actual take here is that... what is sharking? Sorry, I'll explain that, Jay. It's when, like, you're trying to... So the real term is, okay. So when you're playing a game, it's up to both players to ensure that the board state and the game is being played correctly. Now, if you know that your opponent is making a mistake, but you let them, that can cause a disruption to the board state. If you let them make the mistake without saying anything and then call a judge on them when they make it, you've sharked them. Because they might get a penalty for that. So like, while you could have avoided it by like, hey, you know, you let them do something, you let them carry out a mistake and then you call the judge, sharking. Or you're looking for opportunities through the game to get a judge called over so that your opponent gets a penalty so that it's easier for you to win the game. Whereas I like to just play the game, you know, and if someone's broken a rule, or done something wrong, then you call a judge over. But for the most part, I prefer just the game to play out because it's fun when you have competitive games. And I had great rounds yesterday. I had really competitive rounds. Rock Sandy, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for following, man. Good to see you come down here. How you going today, dude? I've been seeing you around lately. So if you can't beat him, shark him. Yeah, and what it comes down to is if you can't win the round, like by winning on skill and play alone, and you have to resort to sharking, I think it's just, I don't think you're a winner. Really? That's just my take. So if you can't win legitimately, it's a hollow victory. And I don't think you'll get far as a player. I can tell you right now, if you don't learn to play clean, then you will never win. Then you will never become like a winner. I just don't think you will. Sparksy91, thank you for the follow, dude. Are you who I think you are? If you are, I hope you got home safe. I'm guessing you did if you just followed. So yeah, I think if you can't win legitimately, then you won't become like a legitimate winner. The round 8 thing, so yeah. Look, my take on that is, so basically top cut was established. There was a top 8 at the end of day 1 after 7 rounds. The top 8 then progress into day 2 and they play through top 8. So you have 4 finals. The winner of each of those progresses to round 2. You have 2 finals and the winners of those progress to the final until a winner is established. And in the first round of finals, one of the players, Jeremy, he had to catch a flight for personal reasons. But the thing that killed me was it was basically if he won, he was just going to scoop the next final. And that, which means like he wins that first final, then he goes to the semi, but he couldn't play because he had to go catch his flight. So he scoops to his opponent instantly and his opponent then progresses to the final. And I just was like, oh, like you do that and like you'll kind of rob your first final opponent that you've beaten, the opportunity of progressing to the final and continuing their tournament. Like if you knew you weren't going to play out to make it to the final and win the event. But I understand that people have personal commitments that they need to adhere to, so I get it. And the counter argument to that is the opponent should have just won. They should have simply won if they wanted to get to the next level. he did need the top 4 points for Worlds. Yeah, and that was the other thing. So he needed it. He got his Worlds invite, and then he left. But see, the thing for me, Upper, is that like I'm about like fucking winning, man. Like so, like winning is like Worlds. Getting to Worlds invite doesn't mean a lot if you can't back it up like as a strong player that can like go the whole way. Like, so what, you get the Worlds invite. Like, I want to see like a fucking win. I want to see like the winner be established and the winner being the ultimate player of that tournament. Not like, oh, his opponent in the semi scoop, so he automatically went to the final. Maybe he didn't deserve to the final. Maybe Jeremy should have won the event. That's what I would have preferred to have seen, someone play it out and win the event, but didn't happen. So the difference between 8th and 4th is pretty big money-wise too. Yeah, I get that too, yeah. So like, I never would have... Yeah, so if... Jeremy should have played it out to win it, but it just felt a little bit like... It put like a little bit of a damper on the fight on the top 8, knowing that one person dropped because they had to go home. I don't know. It's kind of... Yeah. He was going to get money if he won. Yeah, so, like... And Jake, I did see your message there. I'm going to go through that. But, like... I like to see winners of events be, like, the ultimate... The best player of the event, proven through a top 8 that was played out. For one of them to just be like, I had to scoop, and that guy got to the final, it's like... It just... Felt like it feels like a Mickey Mouse tournament at that end. Like, oh, this feels lame. Like, it's anticlimactic. That's the word I was looking for. It's super anticlimactic. Oh, you have to go, and like whatever his reason for going is his reason. Like, and I'm respecting that. So,
D's nuts. Have a nice day.
Zunkfang, thank you for 9 months. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not judging him for why he had to go. He had to go. His reasons, fine. And I'm not really judging him for leaving, because he had to go, but it just put a little bit of a damper on it. And I'm not putting disrespect on people that get Worlds invites, Darcy, because getting a Worlds invite is a big deal. It's very difficult. But I think it's cooler to win a regional than it is to get a Worlds invite. You know what I'm saying?
Pussyo, My Little Pickle, Kombucha.
Winnie, thank you for 3 months.
D's nuts.
Yeah, boss.
Have a nice day.
I met Jeremy for the first time on the Friday night before the event. So he really wanted to win. He really wanted to do well. So he's a passionate guy. He's a nice guy. Hey, Juice Profit. What's up? Juice Profit, what's good, man? I still haven't managed to sit in one of your streams, dude. Juice, thank you for coming down. Juice Profit is a variety streamer. He loves his Pokemon cards, though. Raiders, welcome to the stream. I'm okJLUV. If you haven't heard of me, I am a Pokemon card dude. And I'm currently doing a recap of Perth and OCIC. I'm just catching up with people. We're just talking about the event. How's your stream, Juice?
Pussyo, My Little Pickle, Kombucha. D's nuts. Have a nice day.
Ace Andy, Greg Oars. What's good, Greg? El Fuego del Diablo. That's a hot name. Rafaela. Welcome. Thanks for coming down to the stream. How'd you go, dude? It's not half 2 a.m. in England. Gishy, where you been, Gishy? It's been a hot minute. Why are you up? Man literally said 2 a.m. You up? One of the worst instances of sharking in the past was N baiting. We had a card called Versica. I know this one. I played it in GLC yesterday, which was an item that let you put a supporter from your discard pile into your hand. The only reason you'd play Versica is if you're going to play the supporter. Otherwise, it was better to hold it, except against item lock. But some people would play Versica and try and bait their opponent to shuffle their hand into their deck because of the effect of N, and then claim they didn't play it. There's a player in Australia that does this all the time and needs to stop doing it. And I know the answer to that is don't do it until the person says, I am playing Marnie or I am playing Roxanne. But there's a way, there's a sleight of hand. There's things it comes down to baiting, and it's predatory on players that are not familiar, and it's not part of the game. That's Are we shots firing? I guess we kind of are. I'm not saying names, but I have heard multiple times of, hey, if you're watching, stop doing it. Because we ain't falling for it. None of us are falling for it. The only people falling for it are the people that don't know and haven't played enough tournaments. So stop doing it if you are watching this and you know who you are. But I've heard multiple instances of someone playing like Forest Steelstone and then getting the supporter and showing it. Like, if you pick the card up and show it, like, and look at your opponent in the eye, you're basically saying, I'm playing this. But I've seen them do that, and then the opponent has done the effect of the card, and then the judge has been called, like, instantly. Just play clean. It's so easy. You know what the best thing about winning is? When you win fucking clean. That's when you know. Like a boss. Like, that's actually, like, the Chad way to do it. A hollow victory sucks. And it might feel good for like 5 or 10 years, but 20 years down the line, you'll be like, man, I really fucking fucked that up. I really should have played clean. As for the rest of the tournament, I had a DPL in one of my games because, hey, Sombra, how you going? I had a double prize penalty.
Pussio, My Little Pickle, Kombucha,
FTC.
D's Nuts. Have a nice day.
FTC, thank you for the resub, my dude. I missed you too. I've got to jump in you or Juice's stream. I'm like more regular online the next week or two. So I'll be looking out for the go live noties and I'll jump in you guys just to see what's going on in there. I saw Juice went live as I did. I felt bad. I had a double prize penalty. So that's basically if I receive the double prize penalty, then my opponent needs to take 2 less prize cards to win the game. And in my round 4 or 5, I can't remember. I think it was my round 4. I had to win to keep the day alive. So I was fine. At that point, I was like 1-1-1. And I just had to win to keep the day alive. Maybe I was like 1-1-2. Anyway, the point is I had to win out. And I won game 1. And then in game 2, I was pretty much winning. And I had game 2 like kind of locked up. But I went for like I wanted to win more, which is always dumb. Don't ever win more. Play your line. And I had my line there. I'll tell you exactly what happened. I'm pretty sure I had a line to get Rayquaza to get the knockout on Lugia V-Star. I had the gates. I think I just needed the Ray, but I was going to get it off like a quick ball or something. Like I think I had an out. And I was like, no, I want to go for a Raikou V with Stone to get 3 prizes now instead of 2. And I'd played Colress, and then later in that turn, I had the Stone in hand. I was like, cool, I can get out the gates. I was like, I'm gaming. And then I played Raihan to get the Raikou V. And I played 2 supporters in one turn. And I instantly was like, I fucked it. Sorry, dude. We called judge. And then I knew it was DPL. So I got a double prize penalty. And then because of that, my opponent won game 2 on their turn 3 of time, which tied the round. So that sucked. But it is what it is. I made a mistake. And we go again. But yeah, that was the story of the day. That was the end of my run. And I think I'd made 3 gameplay errors over 3 different rounds. And if you do that, you're probably not going to win the event. So I kind of let the pressure get to me a little bit, which I was a bit disappointed about. But the plan is to just pick ourselves up and not do that in Sydney in preparation of EUIC. I think if the top 8 opponent couldn't win, they didn't deserve the top 4 prizing and to move on. It's unfortunate that they had to leave, but he earned his top 4 spot. And that is totally correct, Jake. Yeah, he definitely earned his top 4 spot. And you know what? I'm potentially being a hypocrite there because I'm like, the winner should be the winner. And I'm in the same breath, I'm like, oh, but the guy who lost in top 8 must be feeling a little bit sour. But like you said and Dar said, just win. And yeah, that top 8 player that lost wasn't deserving of top 4. So getting scooped into it would have been, them getting scooped into it, they wouldn't have been the right player, the player that deserved to be there the most. So that's a good point. Gregor's amazing podcast with Rev. Thank you so much. Thank you. I was a little bit sad that I couldn't jump in and do a stream once that went live because I had to rush off to OCIC, but it was a bit of a fun time. Rev's a really nice guy, absolute legend. I'm looking forward to meeting up with him in June as well. We may be cooking. Missed you, Jay. Hope you had a good time. We did have a good time. Sorry, FTC. I think I said that twice. Thank you for the resub. That's illegal for the stone player, as the card doesn't need to be revealed, meaning the only valid reason to show it is playing. So if you do it without playing it, then you kind of did an invalid move of sorts. Until he hits the discard, it isn't played, and you can legally reveal any of your private knowledge. Correct. Trainer Skits is right. It's just super sus. Stop doing it. So, because Perth was a bust, I've got to go to Sydney now, which is going to be fun, because all tournament chatter aside, the best part of the event is being up there with everybody. It's the best part of the event. I had a great time with Mr. Darcy. What did we do? On the Saturday, we just kind of like caught up and drank and just chatted. We were lots of chatting on Saturday night. Few side events on Sunday. And I played GLC for the first time, which was really fun. But it's just so hard because like if you want to start playing GLC, you got to go and buy all these cards that I haven't had for. I'm not like long-term players that have cards from Sun and Moon and Black and White block or Heart Gold. Like I just don't have the cards. So I got to figure out like a GLC deck to play. I played against a water one with like Whale Lord and it was like busted. It was insane. It was like a water GLC deck that was just kicking the grass GLC deck's butt. You actually can't reveal a card without an effect. It's just most judges will not penalize that. But it's possible for revealing a card to be beneficial. It's like one of those things, yeah, Jake, it's one of those things that's like not part of the game. It's like another layer of the game, like the mind, the poker side, like the mental side, which just is grimy. And like you don't learn that unless you see it in an event or like someone teaches you, and it's just not a natural part of the event. Yeah, so Sydney is like April 4. I'm excited to see you there. It's going to be fun. It's good catching up with everybody. And it's a real rush because like Trainer Skits, who I met, well, I guess we met online through the channel. And then I met at OCIC for the first time. I got to see him again in Perth because they're from Perth. So that was really fun. And like you just get to meet people that follow the channel, which is always kind of surreal. You play against them and you just have a good time. It's the best part of the events. And I'm learning to, I guess after Brisbane, which was like a bad event that I let like get to me. After Brisbane, I've learned to just enjoy the event side and the fun traveling side of it a little bit more. And then it ends up like being just a better time. I'll have to look back through the rules because I can't recall there being any specifics about not revealing cards, but it can definitely be beneficial in some ways. So it's a weird area. Yeah, it's like this gray area that's not part of the game, but it can be it can have an influence on the outcome of the game. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to stop you from being like, I accidentally showed it. I didn't play it. It's like, oh, I dropped it. You know what I mean? Like if you want it, go that way. If you're a player, if you're like a new player or like you're intermediate player, always ask.
Pussy,
you just always ask.
My little pickle, kombucha.
Juice, thank you for 2 months.
D's nuts. Have a nice day.
I got his prime too. Thank you for the prime. That's very kind. Thank you, Deuce. Excuse me. The best thing you can do as an intermediate player that's unsure, I always do it. Are you playing it? I just always say, are you playing it? Like when someone just gets a Marnie off a Luminian and they put it down, I will just say, are you playing it? And then they have to say yes or no. And then I wait for them to actually play it. I just say, do it. Play it out. Just do the thing so there's no ambiguity. So after Sydney, which is going to be Silver Crown Zenith block, I'm flying up to Europe or to London for EUIC. Thank you, Mo. I'm glad you got your Yippee juice out. We're going to turn TTS on. From now after this stream, TTS is going to be more expensive as a channel point and a $1. I'm going the XQC method. You want TTS? You want to spam it? That's what you get, bruh. You did this, Mo. I always wait until my opponent puts their hand on the bottom with Marnie. Yeah, I'm a waiter. Jake, it's going to be fun to play against you up in London and just meet up. I'm a very particular player. I try to I just do a lot to make sure I'm not screwing myself over. Darth, you're going up as well? Excellent. Excellent.
Pussio, my little pickle, kombucha, D's nuts. Have a nice day.
June, thank you for the 5 months. Hey, got his Prime. Where are the primers? Well, they're there. Imagine London. I know, Sombra. Look, I'm going to the tournament and then I'm going to go I'm going to go meet my dad's family for the first time in Italy after. So it's like, I'll go to London, play the event, and then immediately go to Italy and then have a good time with my dad, see where he grew up finally, and then come back home. Yeah, so it's like, I'm going to EUIC because I'm going to see where my dad grew up. Because my dad is from Italy. Like, he was born and raised there. And he immigrated to Australia. Too much info? Probably not. I'm first generation Italian because both my parents are Italian. But I was born in Australia. More Sleepy Joe content. I got a few fun ones that I'm working on. I'm going to bring a cube I'm working on, so hopefully you can try cubing for the first time. That would be cool, because I don't know what the hell cubing is. I don't know what the hell a cube is. It's going to be a fun time, trainer. It's going to be good skits. If I had something like that going on, I'd probably actually go to an international outside North America. Yeah, it's like a good way to justify it, which is good. Oh, yeah, cubing is drafting. That's right. Yeah, that'll be fun, except I don't know enough about old formats to know how to draft a good deck. But I'll have a crack. It'll be fun. You'll have to put up with me taking forever to read every card, because that's what I do. When we were playing GLC, I was playing against Mr. Darcy, and I was just like, oh yeah, what does that do? Oh yeah, what does that do? Oh yeah, what does this do? Oh yeah, that's a cool card. What was it? It was like, I was like, I swear to God, if you boss me, I will crack it. Like, I think he'd played Lysander, and then the next turn he just played, and I was like, there's no way, he can't boss me again. Because he's already played, no, I think he played boss, and then he played Lysander. What did you play? I think it was a Guzma. Like, there's 2 bossing cards as supporters. There's 2 Gust cards that are supporters. He played the boss. I'm like, cool, he can't boss me again. And then he hit me with the Guzma. Dog. It was fun, though. Boss's orders, Lysander and Guzma. He hit me. He was hitting me with all of them. Guzma, fun card. That's a cool card. That card's busted. They should reprint that.
Pokemon guy, bro?
Yes, I am.
Hey, Roman, my guy. Roman, when the hell did you jump in? Thank you for 5 gifted. Roman, did I miss you jump in? Dude, thank you. You always do that. I'm gonna have to buy you another spot and another break now. You absolute legend. Joey, Kid Hitman, Javascar, Kintoki, and Mind of Vulcan. Thank you. You guys got gifted. Thank you, Roman. And I will do my best in Sydney. I gotta run it back. You know what? I really want to win a regional so that I can just get a little bit of respect on my name. That's all. I just want the respect on my name. Everyone wants to win for different reasons. I just want to put a bit of, I want a limitless page, but I don't want to get like a top 4 at an event limitless. I want to get win, like dub, like bring, like clutch, like actually took it all the way. I don't want top 8. I want win. I want win. I want the dub. I want the medal. I want the dub. JLUV reading just about every card when I versed him was so funny. That was a good time. Skits played this deck. It was like Electivire with Indeedee. The one that you just have like a twin energy and then it does 10 damage for every card in your hand. And then he played Galarian Meowth. V. And it was like 20 damage for every card. And I was like, cool. We're playing funny decks now. And I was just literally reading everything. I'm like, oh yeah, that's busted. Electivire, that's busted. Oh, I see what you're doing. Scooping up there. Oh yeah, nice, nice, Skids. If top 8 gets you respect, mine... Oh, Berserker. Galarian Berserker, sorry. Hey, Sombra, I respect you. After Toronto, everyone believes everything I say now. It's been pretty funny. There's a little bit of respect on your name, Jay. I always respected you. Yes. So part of leading up to EUIC is going to be the TCG stream. So that's something I wanted to launch in January and then February, but then because OCIC got so close, I couldn't justify it. So the next week or two, I'm going to set up post-rotation streams with my friend Ben, who is a boss. Oh, I didn't tell you about what Ben did. So Ben, who's one of my testing partners and he's a buddy of mine, is GOAT, right? Ben and I got top 128 at OCIC, so we both got points. And Ben's not planning to travel internationally, so he has to do well at Perth and then Sydney. So Ben wasn't going to go to Perth unless he got points at OCIC, which he did. So then the next day he booked Perth. But Ben had Ed Sheeran's concert on the Friday night. And so he was like, I don't want to skip Ed Sheeran. Originally he was going to sell the Ed Sheeran tickets and then come in on the Friday night. But then he just decided to send it. And he's like, I'm going to fly to Perth on the Saturday morning and just wing it. So Ben rocks up 7:30 a.m., 8 a.m., gets to the venue at like 8:39, and he's cooked. Because there's like a 4-hour flight from Melbourne to Perth, and you got this time zone difference as well. So you go back in time, but you've got to sit on a 3.5-hour flight, and you're getting up at like 5 a.m., so you're cooked, right? And the tournaments are long days. So Ben flies in, and he's feeling a bit ginger, and he loses his first 2 rounds. And so he has to just start submarining. And I swear to God, Ben gets the clean... He gets
my little pickle,
the most scuffed
kombucha,
ones ever.
D's nuts. Have a nice day.
Revel, thank you for 11 months. Good to see you, man. Revel did fantastic yesterday, over the weekend as well. We flew up and we broomed together. Very solid. 1 win away from top 16, I'm pretty sure. You killed it, dude. So Ben rocks up, loses the first 2 rounds, and then he starts playing funny decks the rest of the day. And I don't know how he does it, but he always goes up against like Zacian V-Star, but not the Lost Box version, just like straight up Zacian V-Star. And he starts winning against like funny decks or like non-meta decks, and he just has to win out the rest of the day, which he does, and he makes 9th. He bubbles out of top 8. So he flies in on the day, loses the first 2, and then wins out, bubbles top 8 with like 43% resistance. It was shocking resistance. The resistance was so bad. But he knew he wasn't going to make top 8. He knew top 8 was just the dream at that point. But the goal was, win. Well, his last round was top 16. And so he had to get his points. And he did. He got 80 plus points and 9 booster packs. 9 booster packs for coming 9th, which is just embarrassing, but that's another story. And no money because we had 96 people instead of 100. But he got his points. So he's at 180. So he's got 20 more to go. So I think Sydney's probably going to have... Sydney will have 100 plus. I don't know if we'll have 200 plus. If they do, then we're going to get... top 64 will get points, which will be huge. But you should never play for points unless like it's your first tournament and you're trying to set the bar low, and I get it, or reasonably. You're setting your expectations, you're being realistic about them. No shame. But I guess for us, we're trying to top 8 here on out and like win the events. So Ben's a Chad and is going to be joining me for like post-rotation streams over the next 2 weeks. We're probably going to get them going with a lot of tabletop gameplay of just Scarlet Violet stuff. That's why I bought those Scarlet Violet cards as singles, which was just felt bad, but we had to do it. They should give booster packs equal to your place number. Yeah, first place gets 1 pack and money, and 1500 gets packs that they can drown their sorrow, because Lord knows packs are in abundance. Losing the first couple of rounds does feel bad, man. Like going 0-1-1 is not too bad. It just means you got to win out. It's not too bad. Winning the first is always the best feeling. It's just like soothes you a little bit. And then, yeah, what happened yesterday was supposed to fly back at 5 p.m. So me and Mr. Darcy, we booked the Qantas flight because Qantas is like a more reliable airline. And everyone else booked the Jetstar flight, and Jetstar are an unreliable airline. And we're having lunch. It's like 1 p.m., 2 p.m. And we get a message, hey, your flight's been delayed. Okay, fine. So like our flight gets pushed back an hour. Just keep eating lunch. 30 minutes later, get another text message. Hey, your flight's been delayed. Pushed back 2 hours now. Okay, cool. We're going to go to the airport because we're all together anyway. So we're just going to the airport after we eat. And we get another text message. Hey, your flight's been delayed. And like another hour. So 5 p.m. flight became an 8 p.m. flight. Which eventually became an 8:30 p.m. flight. Sparksy was on the same flight too, who I think just wanted to die because he'd been at the airport since like 12:30. And yeah, it was just me, Darcy, playing games at the bar. Sparksy rocked up and a few others that were on that flight too. So we left Perth at like 8:30, 9 p.m. and then landed back at like 3 a.m., which is just cooked. By the time you get to your car, it's like 4. And then by the time I drove home, it was like 4:30. Yeah. Look, point is, we got there. But it was suboptimal. We booked Qantas for OCIC. We got moved to a connecting flight and delayed. It was messed up. Qantas fell off. Yeah, so I'm kind of like nervous about booking Qantas for Sydney, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because it's cheap. Well, with frequent flyer points, it's cheap. Yeah. And that was the weekend. What else? Was there anything notable that happened? Anything else? Not really. I think that was about it. So I met a lot of cool people. I met up with people that I met at OCIC. One of my rounds was against a dude who was like, hey man, how you going? Like we'd met before. And I think we'd met in passing at OCIC. And I was like buzzing because I just locked points. And so I didn't really remember him too well, but we had a really close round 3 or 4. It was insane. But that was cool to meet up with him and like actually chat. That was cool. Steven, nice guy. Hopefully see him in Sydney. And what else? That's about it, really. So we got 4 weeks to figure out what the hell we're playing for Sydney, which is probably going to be some kind of Lost Box variant that just runs a little bit better. And I need to become a better player yet again. And I definitely got to do that before Europe. But that's where we're at. So now that I'm back, I'm going to be streaming a little bit more regularly. But the next stream is probably going to be Scarlet Violet playthrough because I really want to play it. I sat it out during the hype period because I had too much stuff on. And I haven't played it since. I want to play it. I don't know if there's any point. I don't want to play it offline. I might as well just stream it. I think it's going to be fun. I was looking at some of the Paradox Pokemon that I hadn't seen before, and they look insane. Like it's like the most refreshing Pokemon design since Gen 5. The Paradox Pokemon look insane. So I'm going to pick Scarlet because all the ones from Violet just look like robots. Which isn't bad. Some of them look cool. Like Iron Treads looks cool. But Wild Tusks looks cooler. The Magneton looks sick as well. Beanie, what's good, man? Have I migrated to live? I play on live exclusively. Yeah. Great Tusk, Iron Thorns, and Roaring Moon are goated. Roaring Moon looks cool, yeah. Scarlet has like insane looking Paradox Pokemon. Honestly, as a slow new player, I'm going to go for a diff deck because I tied a bunch of games I should have won because of it. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that you should have won because you played a slow deck. Should have won. I fall into this trap too. We shouldn't have won anything. We don't actually know if we should have won. We huff the copium and say, I should have won it. Like the one before when I was explaining to you about the DPL, like, yeah, I should have won that because I was winning and I was going to win game 2 and game 2 was probably going to go to time and I'd won game 1. That is a game I should have won, but I got a DPL, so I didn't. But the other games where that didn't go to round 3, and I don't say I should have won, I just tied, which was bad, is because I don't know if I was going to win. You should say, I want to give myself I'm going to go for a diff deck because I tied a bunch of games that went to time, and I should have had 3 games. and then you'll be able to evaluate a true winner. So yeah, games rolls will turn off winning. Okay, that too. Yeah, when you can actually identify that you should have won because you were a turn off and you ran out of time. Yeah, then that also you should have won. Play faster. We both need to do it.
I deserve it.
You do deserve it. We all deserve to win. Taliam, I'm sorry we didn't get to meet. Perth was lovely. We had a great time. I just did like a big Perth recap. It was packed, like from start to finish. So I'm bummed we didn't get to meet. I think I need to be a little bit more. I need to do more planning with meetups. Like if I'm gonna go to a state, be like, hey, I'm gonna be here. If you want to come meet up, say hey, so that people who want to come say hey have the chance. Because I know you had stuff on. But it was a good time. We had a great time. Scarlet doesn't have $900 money jam. I just want to play Violet Scarlet because, like I said, the Paradox Pokemon looks sick. So yeah, I'll start streaming that probably. Actually, I don't even know when I'll stream that. Maybe on Friday. Might stream it on Friday. Otherwise, next weekend. I've got a wedding this weekend. That's a shame. But it's not a long game, is it? How long is Scarlet? How long is Scarlet Violet? Can you like clear it in what, 20, 30 hours? Yeah, I did use the premium AI. I did. To get the best sounding version, yeah, you had to. Oh, sweet. Okay, so it's like a 20-hour game. Yeah, cool. Is it hard? Is it tedious? Is it tedious? Yep, Reggie's is a good pick. It's basically solitaire. There's depth to it, but your lines are they're relatively linear compared to other decks. So it's definitely a good pick. As for YouTube, I should probably talk about this. So I'm gonna try and be more regular. I'm gonna look for an editor over the next 2 or 3 days. Because I need somebody who can create videos for me while I'm away. So I'll be looking for an editor. If you know an editor, if you know someone who's editing and wants to get into like wants frequent editing work, then hit me up. Open to working with anybody. We're looking at more like vlog, IRL content editing, less pack opening stuff. So oh wait, the other thing that I got to do was that because the flight was so long, I caught up on Chainsaw Man. Or did I? No, I finished the public safety arc of Chainsaw Man, which was sick. So I was able to read through like two Tankobon. And I finally finished public safety arc. Because I only read manga in Japanese, so it like takes me a little bit longer. I have to like be in the mood to just read Japanese for hours. Yeah, but I finished it. It was sick. I just burned through it. I didn't sleep on the flight back. I just burned through Chainsaw Man. So I need to buy volume 12 now. How often do I need editing? Often. Oh, like what I really need is like commitment to like, you know, realistic timelines, but like we need this video done in 2 weeks and like this is the scope and I'll help you out. But like when I'm away, when I'm going to be in London, I can't edit. So I don't want there to just be gaps on the channel, and I don't want to have to make I don't want to have to edit stuff and then slowly upload it over, like stretch it out while I'm away to like pad the channel. Did the VODs channel get the 4K hours of watch time yet? No, because I stopped uploading VODs to it. I got to get back into I'm going to start doing that again this week. So basically a lot of what happened was content slowed down because of OCIC. I wanted to get points. I wanted to do well. I wanted to make day 2. I didn't, but I succeeded in one of the goals, and the decision was worth it because I feel like long term, what I'm doing with Pokemon now going to the events, playing the game, meeting people is like way more fulfilling. And I'd much rather do that than like make videos because I got to get a video up and I got to like talk about something. Like I want to become a better player. I think more is going to come out of it. A lot's already come out of it now. Like just the fact that I meet people at these events and have as much fun as I do, forge those connections, just make new friends. It's just more rewarding. It's been very rewarding. So I'm just going to keep doing that. Even if it means I get a video up once every 3 weeks, I got to do it for me. Otherwise I'm going to go insane. Like I will not love what I do and it will reflect on the content. So, I don't, no one asked and I ain't reading all that, but that's why the VODs channel hasn't had an upload because I haven't put any VODs up. I'll just start doing that again this week. But yeah, Chainsaw Man Public Safety arc was sick. And I think I'm like, what, 25 chapters behind being up to date? Or like 30 chapters? What's the latest chapter of Chainsaw Man? Like 120? I'm almost up to date. I'm just going to actually get up to date on Chainsaw Man. All right, I think that's it. I think I've caught up and like briefed on everything. Final disclosure. I don't want to like spruik negativity in the Australian Pokemon playing space for views, engagement. I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just sharing my experience and what I've observed walking out of the events and the weekend. So if there's some things that I've said that like aren't positive, because I don't want to say like things that are negative, some things that aren't positive. I'm not trying to create tension or drama. I just think there's like a gap in the Australian play space where people aren't really talking about what happens here. And like, there's like the meme of like, there's like this meme of like Australia and it's like a league cup or like no one cares what Australians do. Like Azul made a tweet and was joking about Perth being like a league cup. And it's funny. And I get like, it's just a meme. I know, we know he's trolling. Not taking it personally, but at the same time, like there's an extremely strong player base here. But people wouldn't really know that because it gets drowned out by like all the international noise because the player base is so much bigger and because there are so many more creators or players that have platforms that are talking about what's going on. So you know what's going on. You know what's going on in America because Azul streamed or Tricky Jim has streamed or like Rahul's put up a video or like, you know, people from the Shuffle Squad have spoken about what's happened at regionals and there's just like a lot going on there. You know what's going on in Europe because you've got and the London space is you've got OmniPoke, you know, you got Joe there, you've got PTCGO Radio, you've got Hotshot PTCG, you've got For the Win Gaming, like you've got who's the other guy? Zapdos dude? The Zapdos dude, I can't remember. Anyway, the point is you've got British and European streamers that are talking about what's going on there. So we know what's going on there too, but then when it comes to the Oceanic region, no one's really talking about it. And when it does, it gets memed on. So like, while Azul's tweet is funny and I laugh, it also like puts a towel. It's not disrespectful, but like it makes a mockery. Sometimes when like you're the butt of a joke too much, you're respected, but you're the butt of a joke too much, like you inadvertently become the class clown. And like that's kind of like what Australia is. Like it's like no one really knows what we're doing. And then when we do something, people crack jokes because it's easy to crack jokes at. And I get it. But too many jokes get cracked and then no one takes it seriously. And then the toys go out of the cot. So that's why I want to kind of like talk a little bit more about what's going on. So you can know what's going on at these events. You know what's going on in the player space. Like the skill level at Perth was crazy. There was like a lot of new players. You got people that are like intermediate, but you got so many players that are cracked. And you've just got this really strong player base, but nobody knows who these people are. Like we go to the events and we know who like, I know who I'm playing against. Like I see the names. I'm like, oh, I've played them. Like they're really good. Or like, this dude's a Perth local or she's from Sydney or whatever. And it's like, I know that they're cracked, but nobody else knows that. And because they're not like top 8ing or like they're not going into a top, because they're not going into like a top 32 or a day 2, because it's in Australia, it's like top 8 is top cut, then you don't see those players unless they top 8, unless they make top cut. And because nothing gets streamed, you don't see these supposedly random like nobodies who aren't nobodies, but they're notable in Australia in the local scene. You don't actually see them. So nobody knows about them except Australians. So I just figure if I talk a little bit about it, you guys know what's going on down here, then I can use it as a way to like spread that knowledge. That's literally it. So not trying to be negative. Sometimes you can't always be positive though. Don't forget the point structure. You know about people that top 64 NEU regional because it's posted, but you don't know the top 32 of Perth. Because trainers. Yeah, so you said exactly what I just said. I just repeated what you said, sorry. But it's true. Only the top 8 matters in Australia. And so unless you top 8, nobody knows who you are. But yeah, we're gonna start doing P2CG content. It's gonna be happening. I'll do a weekly recap on the competitive space. That's a good idea. I'll do that after Sydney. I think that'd be good content and give knowledge to it. Yeah, 100%. It's just a bit rough because we don't have a lot of regionals, so it's like you can't do it. It's only kind of relevant a little bit before the event. So I'll try to do it as much as I can before Sydney, and then I'll do a post Sydney stream. So book that in. Okay, that's where we're at. Today is just an update stream, and I just wanted to catch up and say hello to everybody. So that's what's gone down. Could be general news about the competitive scene too. That's the plan. Don't worry, your boy's cooking. I just got to set it up. Who's going to Sydney? So I'm going to Sydney. Darcy's going. I think Angus is going. I know like Natalie's crew is going. Perry isn't going. Luke's not going. Ben is going. Who else from Melbourne is going? I think like all the Sydney people are going. Who else is going, Darcy? Just tell us. So Angus, we can say names like Angus Johnson is going. Darcy Ryan is going. I'm not doxing you. Whoever knows who you are. You're a player. You're an Aussie player. I'm going. I think Ben K is going. I don't know if Christian D is going. Tim Franklin's going. Brisbane Regionals winner. Maybe Sparksy's going. I don't know. We tried to twist his arm. When cups and challenges come back, you can go over these results every other week. Yeah, and I think that would be good. And Sparksy, like a lot of what I want to do is get, so that's why like Darcy's going to come on these podcast-esque streams when we do these recaps. Because like if it's just me talking about it, then it's just my opinion all the time. It just becomes like an echo chamber. And I like showing, I want to show off more Aussie players. So like Darcy's going to come on, Ben's going to come on, Tim said he was going to come on as well. So you can just see different people's feels. But yeah, cups and challenges would be good. That would be good next season. I should come back. Sydney's player base is way smaller compared to Melbourne. Every other state has a much smaller player base than Melbourne in general. Jeremy Lin was saying that Sydney's space is really big though. And he was like, we're probably going to get 200 players at the event. So Jeremy was saying Sydney might get 200 plus. I think he's being idealistic, but he knows it better than I do. I'm not in Sydney. Christian has Barney and all that will be there because obviously they're Sydney based. I don't know if Jose is going to go up to Sydney. But yeah. Sydney's going to be kind of big. Obviously, it getting shifted from Scarlet Violet block in late May to being start of April was a bit of a wet towel on it, but it's happened now, so whatever, we just got to roll with it. Otherwise, yeah, it's like either shut up and play or don't play. So you just got to move on. Yeah, Sparksy, before the date change. Before the date change, it would have had 200 plus for sure, because everyone would have wanted to play a new format. But because of the date change, now it's hard for people to justify it. Yeah, people are pulling out. It's like, do I want to fly to play Crown Zenith, Silver Tempest again? Probably not. Oh, I didn't really talk about the deck, the spread of decks at Perth. So I'll quickly go over that. A lot of Lost Box. Lugia was prevalent, but not as much as OCIC or like Brisbane. There was barely any Mew, which was good. I was glad I didn't play Drapion because there was like barely any Mew. There was a lot of Vikavol, there was a lot of Arcdura, and there was like singles, there was like Rapid Strike Hoppip. I saw someone playing that. It was a lot of Lost Box. There was probably a lot of Lost Box. Not a lot of Reggies. I don't know why, like Angus is like a really good Reggies player. I don't know why he doesn't just play Reggies at more events. You don't need it. You don't need Drapion. We didn't need it because no one played it. So yeah, the most of the deck spread was Lugia and Lost Box, with a lot of Vika at the top tables, because there was like one core group that played Vika, like they all ran the same list. There was a lot of Arcdura though. Oh, Angus lost to 2 Reggies. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's Karma. Only one of our locals plays Mew. It's dead here. There's a lot of Mew in Melbourne. Christian D played Mew with Aerodactyl. Did they run different lists? I know Brent ran a list that he didn't want to run compared to the group, and he was annoyed about it. You got to trust your gut. Being comfortable with your 60 is the most important thing. I don't need to be an experienced player to know that. Vika or Reggie are the best 2 picks for the current meta. Vika's a great meta call in Australia because of how much Lost Box and Lugia there is. It's not a bad call at all. Because we are all bots down here. And we all play Lost Box. Huffing the copium. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen before Sydney, what meta shift we're going to see in Australia, but I guess it'll be impacted by whatever happens at the regional in America before ours. What's the regional before ours? Pokemon Regionals 2023. How's my V-Star Universe binder? Good. I actually picked up that Pikachu AR from the AR9 God Pack before it went up in price. So I'm in a good spot. There is the Charlotte Regionals on the 26th. And then there is Vancouver on the 10th. And then April 2nd is Grand Wayne, which is the same weekend as Sydney. That's crazy. So whatever happens at Charlotte is going to impact our meta. Fort Wayne. Is okJLUV exhausted? Oh, it's okay. I'm exhausted too. Yeah, I'm spent. I'm spent. Getting in at 5 a.m. cooked. And you know what was cute? My girlfriend missed me. That's always nice. She missed me so much that she woke me up early. You can't be mad about that. So like, instead of letting me sleep in, she woke me up. It's actually funny because I was sleeping. I got to bed at 5. And then I was like, I'm probably going to wake up naturally at like 9 or 9:30. And then at 8:30, she got up at like 8:30. And so she thought she'd surprise me with the dogs because I missed them. So she opens the door because I slept in the spare room. And she puts Lola on the bed. And I don't wake up, but I am awake. But I'm like I'm just feigning being asleep because I wanted to just go back to sleep. And then she like keeps putting Lola around me in the bed, and I'm still not waking up. Then I can hear her like snickering because she's like, as if he's sleeping through this. Her not realizing that I am not sleeping. I'm just trying to make her go away. And then she starts shoving. She's like shaking me like this, and I'm like, I'm not moving a bit. I'm like, nah, I'm not interacting now. And so she left and like left Lola in the bed. So I got to sleep with Lola, which was cute. Then she came in an hour and did it again. And I was like, all right, it's like 9:30. I better get up now and just do it. So she actually missed me, which was cool. I felt wanted. A bunch of people from Cincinnati are going to Fort Wayne, so it'll be fun to watch. Cincinnati. Where's Cincinnati? Charlotte? Yeah, so Charlotte and then Fort Wayne. So whatever happens at Fort Wayne, we don't really know. Ohio. Okay. Oh, Indianapolis, Ohio. Yeah, true. It's from Ohio. Is that like the meme? Don't catch the bus in Ohio. All right, with that, I'm going to head out. I will catch you guys. When will I catch you next? I'll catch you guys maybe this Friday. You'll see me go live. Should I start Scarlet Violet on an American weekend or on a like Thursday night for you guys? I never know when to start things. I feel like starting things on a weekend is optimal. But you know what? I just can't this weekend. I got a wedding. So when we go live, we go live. Start it whenever. Okay, I'll just start it whenever. Bet. No, 2 a.m. AU time. No, I'm gonna do it on Australian time, Risa. Like in the Australian morning, and it'll be the American evening. And the Europeans miss out again. Sorry, Europe. Europe moment. Okay. I'm tired. It was good to catch up with everybody. I did miss you all very much, so I'll see you during the week. Like and subscribe. You know where to find me, okJLUV, youtube.com. You know where I am. This is your first time. Here are all the socials. And join our Discord, although it is a bit wild in there. Also, I have been MIA on the Discord. It's because it's just too hard to keep up with while I'm busy playing. But I will be in there and I will be keeping an eye on UMFs because I know it's gone crazy in there the last 3 weeks. That's on me. Okay, peace out. I miss you, Darcy. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the ride home last night. I need more mods, probably. We'll figure that out too. There's a bit of work to do. JavaScar, peace out. Nintendo Box, Sakana Sensei, Risa, I'm sorry you missed the stream. Skill issue? Nolan, take care. Thanks for tuning in. NA John, thank you as always, man. ZD, peace. Zangafan, peace. Nintendo Box, Matthew, Tofu, Darth Bean, I'll see you in London. Beanie, peace out. FTC, take care. Thank you so much. AAA, bye. Mitchie, take care, dude. Nolan, peace. Seymour Biscuits, peace out. Pab, have a good one. Juice, thank you again for the raid. Everyone who gifted or resubbed, thank you so much for your support. That means the world. And I'll make you proud one day. Soon. Thanks for following Chrono Chris. Peace out. Peace out, Jarzard. Have a good one. Jarzard, you're making me want to play Pikmin. I'm probably going to start that this week too, but I'll probably play that offline. Gang Up Brigade, bye. Thanks for tuning in, dude. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Wait, wrong one. Wrong one. That's the one. See ya.